Hi, Mike. I'm here live at the NFL Draft in Detroit. We're about 29 hours away from the first pick, and the Chicago Bears have been on the clock since New Year's Eve. So we don't know what they're going to do. Are they going to take Caleb Williams? They should have signed him to a contract by now. Maybe they're going to trade out of it. Nobody knows. Producer! Welcome to the Fantasy Forecast with your hosts, Grindberg and Bigz. He is Grindberg. I am Bigz. We are here to bring you 5 ADP values at the quarterback position today. How you doing, Mike?
I'm doing good, Biggs. It is getting, right around the draft time. We're
Draft
heading into
season!
season! By the time this thing is rolling out, probably the first round might be already done, and we got some landing spots for the wide receivers, so it'll be interesting to see, how that's going to break down. But today we are going to talk to you guys and our viewers and listeners all about the quarterback position, and we're looking at values in our draft, right, Big? So players you can take that are going to outperform their average draft position, and that's what I'm talking about, ADP.
Oh,
so that's
that
where
what
those
we're doing?
Yeah, average draft positions. So, these are guys you're going to be able to take a little bit later on in your draft, but they're going to, perform like a guy in maybe a higher tier.
Can I go first?
You are going to go first. Yes,
I can go first? Okay.
Yeah.
I'll start right now. Because you know me, and you know that in our redraft leagues, I am a quarterback fader. So I'm not taking a quarterback till the 9th, 10th, 11th round. So I am all about value. Now, there's one quarterback, and I said 5 quarterbacks. I'm only going to give you one. Mm-hmm. You can guess the other 4. But there's one guy that I'm looking at as an ADP value. He's ADP 16.
Hold on. Can I interrupt you for a second?
Yeah.
Let me guess who that is. Are you gonna give me a little bit of more of a secret? Some more advice on where this guy is. Who is he? Where am I going with him?
Well, I was just going to tell you he's ADP 16. But he finished 2023 as the quarterback 7 ahead of Patrick Mahomes. So by process of elimination, now we know it's not Patrick Mahomes, right? He had over 600 attempts last year. Does he have rushing upside? No. He averaged less than a yard per carry. That's very, very hard to do in the NFL. In college football, sacks count against your rushing yardage total. But not in the NFL. So to average less than a yard every time he breaks the line of scrimmage means he's not getting a yard past the line of scrimmage. He did, however, rush for more touchdowns last year than Baker Mayfield, Tua Tagovailoa, Derek Carr, and Bryce Young combined. I'm, of course, talking about my boy.
Hold on.
You got it. Cal Bear legend. Shares my hometown. Hashtag Novato Boys. Mr. Jared Goff.
Yeah.
Now, Goff, like I said, threw the ball over 600 times last year. They just locked Penei Sewell and Amon-Ra St. Brown to contracts today. So you know that's when we're recording this. So basically the Lions are making a commitment to the offense that they have on the field. And Jared Goff is he's entering that golden window of quarterback play where he's been in the league a while. He knows the league. He's got the passer profile that is necessary. We know what he is, and he's better than the 16th quarterback in the NFL. And in fantasy, he's a top 10 guy potentially. So I'm waiting on all the other guys to go, and I'm taking Jared Goff as my first quarterback or even a bench quarterback way later in the draft, and I'm going to win because of it.
Yeah, I mean, Jared Goff, he was very, very efficient this year and just overall in his career. So you're taking him, ahead. So what kind of construction are you looking at when you're talking about, Jared Goff in that situation where you're taking him in a later round? Like, what round are you comfortable taking Goff in, start taking quarterbacks in?
I'm gonna watch my queue and watch the way that the player list goes, and I'll probably wind up taking Goff when there are maybe one or two of the quarterbacks that are ahead of him in the list. When they go, my next pick is going to be Goff. I don't know if that's the ninth, 10th, 11th, 12th round, but I'm going to completely stack my team first and worry about quarterback later. I don't worry about quarterback. I don't worry about tight end. I don't worry about defense. I don't worry about bye weeks. I hit the wide receivers hard, then I go running backs, and then whatever kind of filters in after that. Quarterback usually, it's usually 9 or 10 picks into my roster build before I'm looking at quarterbacks.
Cool. So if you were to make a prediction right now, where would you see Jared Goff finishing in 2024 as where would you feel comfortable ranking him in there? Like where
I wouldn't put it, let me just say 10.
Yeah. Yeah, that's where I thought
Let
he
me
would
say
be
10.
rounding. Yeah. And getting a 10, that's a QB1 in a later round where you're still putting up, numbers where your other guys that you took, where your value is, your running backs, your wide receivers. That's where bigz is going to get a lot of his value in his draft. And Jared Goff is going to lead his team. So I love that call, man.
And if we're looking at the difference of 4 or 5 points per week at the single position of quarterback in a redraft league, I'm going to be making those up by stacking my wide receiver ones, going and getting RB ones, and they're going to be outscoring the competition by more than those 4 or 5 points. So I feel comfortable at that quarterback position.
Yeah, me too. Good call, man. All right. So where do you think I'm headed with mine?
Well, it is rookie season.
Yes.
I think you're going to follow me to Chicago.
I'm coming to Chicago. Bear down, folks. So yeah, man, you hit that nail right on the head there, bigz. Thanks for showing.
I
our
have
crowd
the
where
show
we're headed.
sheet. I have the show sheet.
That's what.
Yeah,
Geez.
I got to see.
I thought I locked you out of those by now. You always end up screwing up my stuff. So
Excuse me.
You write in stuff lines that I say, like the teleprompter on what
Maybe
movie was
once.
that? Anchorman. That was great. Yeah, you
Maybe
had
I
me
did
good.
that once.
All right, so my guy is Caleb Williams, and
What?
yeah, he is being ranked at Fantasy Pros as the QB 17, and there's no debate that Caleb Williams will be the 101 selected in Detroit this week. He has flashed.
I don't know, Mike. Did you see the intro?
Yes, I saw the intro.
There's still a question. Is it going to be Caleb? Is it not going to be Caleb? Are the Bears going to trade out of that pick?
No, it's going to be Caleb. We all know it's Caleb.
Okay.
It's Caleb Williams, man. We'll see though. I mean, only time will tell. But that is I'd say I'm going to 90% chance.
I'm just saying.
All right. You heard it from bigz. If there's a shocker, it might be Caleb Williams. So there are miss rates on quarterbacks entering the NFL, and far more volatile than some of the more top end wide receivers like a Marvin Harrison. So, he may be the more safer play, like bigz is saying here, like maybe taking a wide receiver might be the safer play, especially when, you look at the history of the Chicago Bears and their history in drafting quarterbacks in the first round. We'll get into some of those names a little bit later, but that hasn't been very strong. So I could see a point there, but I have very high expectations from Caleb Williams this year, especially in super flex leagues. He will provide an anchor for your team and for a long time, if you will. I know we're talking about redraft, and when we look at rookies coming on the scene, they're not typically very successful outside of, maybe like a CJ Stroud of last year. So my
The one
expectations,
of one.
yeah. So my expectations for Caleb Williams are high. He could turn out to be a CJ Stroud performance type season. Landing spot plays a significant role in the early success of developing young quarterbacks, especially when they enter the league. And if you look like a Jordan Love, he's had some time to sit in an offense and get that time to develop in an offense. And, some of these quarterbacks aren't put into situations, especially as a rookie, where they're going to be surrounded by weapons. And this Chicago Bears team is set to be successful right out of the gate. Williams is not quite the dual threat, weapon that a Jaden Daniels provides, but he does have the right size, and he is prolific at hitting his wide receivers. He can scramble. He's got really good arm talent, and his athleticism can get him rushing production as well. Now you bring in Keenan Allen around him. That receiving core includes DJ Moore, Cole Kmet, like bigz mentioned on numerous parts of our shows in the past, that he's a big truther of Cole Kmet, and now DeAndre Swift and Roshan Johnson. Caleb Williams is in a really good spot to succeed, and that situation could even be better with them adding another great option with their 9 pick. So that is a situation there worth monitoring. They could pick up a wide receiver there, or even a Brock Bowers, to even further improve their offense. Can you imagine a Malik Neighbors or a Rome Odinze in that offense with them? Caleb Williams is smashing that QB 17 rank, and I have him as a clear-cut top 10 quarterback in 2024. So waiting on that quarterback strategy is the way to go, and Caleb Williams is my guy. Smash, smash, smash him. Bear down, folks. He's going to be a Bear, hopefully, and he's going to have a great season in 2024.
That's a bold statement, my friend. If I'm the Chicago Bears GM and I'm going to put my NFL hat, I'm taking off my fantasy hat and I'm putting on my NFL GM hat. If I'm the Chicago Bears, I'm absolutely exploiting the 101 pick in this draft. I'm trading out of it. I'm going to send the Raiders an offer. I'm going to say, hey, you give us the 13, you give us your second rounder, you give us your 2025 first, and we will go ahead and give you the 101 and allow you to jump up and get Caleb Williams or Jaden Daniels, your choice of the two. And then I have the 9 pick, and I'm taking a wide receiver, and I have the 13 pick, and I'm taking a Bo Nix or a Michael Penix. I'm doing something else other than Caleb Williams. So if that is the scenario, and there have been years where when there was a 101 consensus on a quarterback, when it was all like everybody knew what was going to happen, a lot of times the team will offer a contract to the player before the pick even happens. That hasn't happened yet. So there's still that question. It still lingers. What are the Bears going to do? Now, this will come out after that has happened, so we'll see. But even if it's not the Bears, I think Caleb Williams doesn't move in any rankings. Wherever you have him as a value right now, he's going to be that same value regardless of the team that he goes to. Smash that ADP.
Sweet. You heard it from bigz first. He's almost matchup proof there with that ADP, essentially. That ADP will probably definitely change at this stage after the draft when we see where he lands and where these wide receivers go as well. Like, I mean, obviously that's going to change a lot, but right now that looks like a value. So that is it for this episode, bigz. What do we got on the slate for our next one?
I don't know. I'm not the producer.
Sir, you know who it is. It's going to be our wide receivers now.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
We're going to talk about wide receiver ADP values on the next episode of the Fantasy Forecast on the Fantasy Football Advice Network. bigz, tell them where they could find you.
Hey, I'm over at Big Boned FFB. That's Frank Ball, like fantasy football. On the tweet machine, he's at FF Canuck on. I almost said Grinder on the Twitter. You can find us at Fantasy Football Advice Network which you're at already. The Undroppables, Player Profiler News. We got a huge show coming up for the draft. I hope you didn't miss it. Uncovered series at the Undroppables. He's the Chiefs. I'm the Raiders. He's my partner in crime at the Dynasty Pulse on Fantasy Football Plus Network. We're going to be at the Expo in August, so come on down. Get yourself to Canton for the August 15th weekend. And don't forget to like, subscribe, hit the bell, comment, share. Let's go.
Yeah. We hope you win. Peace.
I hope you win.